Let's talk about Bill O'Reilly. You know, I didn't really get to talk about this because it was just as I was coming in. It kind of came over and it was still sourced. It was not definite that he had left. And now he's left. And it's really, I mean, it really is shocking. This guy is something like $178 million. That's like 2 years ago of the income of Fox News. This guy is the biggest success. And because about a few weeks ago, the New York Times revealed that Fox had paid out about $13 million to several different women who had claimed he had sexually harassed them. He had to go. And here's Dana Perino making the announcement, cheering up a little bit, it looks like, she has been hosting for O'Reilly on the O'Reilly Factor. Now it's just called The Factor because O'Reilly is gone. And here's Dana Perino making the announcement.
Finally tonight, it is the end of an era here at the Fox News Channel. As we mentioned earlier, Bill O'Reilly is leaving this chair and this network after more than 20 years. Bill has been the undisputed king of cable news, and for good reason. He is an incredibly talented broadcaster who raised the bar for interviewers everywhere. He has also held his staff to exacting standards in his quest to put the best possible program on the air, and they are great. And you, his audience, responded in record numbers, making The Factor the #1 cable news show for more than 16 years. You have also been loyal, and we can't tell you how much that means to everyone on The Factor. In a memo to the staff today, Rupert James and Lachlan Murdoch, who run Fox News, described Bill this way. By rating standards, Bill O'Reilly is one of the most accomplished TV personalities in the history of cable news. In fact, his success, by any measure, is indisputable. We wish him the very best.
So O'Reilly released a statement saying he praised Fox News, but he said it was tremendously disheartening that we part ways due to completely unfounded claims. He denies it entirely. He says that's the unfortunate reality many of us in the public eye must live with today. I will always look back on my time at Fox with great pride and the unprecedented success we achieved, and with my deepest gratitude to all my dedicated viewers. I wish only the best for Fox News. His attorney, Mark Kasowitz, released well, it was a statement, but it was released partly in a tweet. It says, Bill O'Reilly has been subjected to a brutal campaign of character assassination that is unprecedented in post-McCarthyist America. So he's going the full McCarthy here. This law firm has uncovered evidence that the smear campaign is being orchestrated by far-left organizations bent on destroying O'Reilly for political and financial reasons. That evidence will be put forth shortly, and it is irrefutable. So O'Reilly is having none of it. I asked around a little bit, people that I know. Everybody said they had never seen him behave in an untoward way toward the many, many beautiful women who come through Fox News. It's a place that loves pretty girls, and they have them coming through there. It's always easier, I got to be honest, to believe the women in this case, like especially you got a powerful guy like that. He's kind of old fashioned. He's got a lot of old fashioned values, hates feminism and all this stuff. It's very easy to see not breaking any laws, maybe not, telling people that if they don't sleep with him, he's not going to give them a job or anything like that. Maybe nothing as big as that. But, you do want to have a care for your coworkers. You do want to treat people with respect. I mean, like I said, I don't have to because look at the people I work with. But, and here at the Daily Wire, of course, the minute the cameras go off, it's all sex. That's all, that's all we do. And I try to be equal. I try to harass everybody equally. It's not a gay thing. I just, men, women, I just don't want to be unfair. But the stories are more like the story that Kirsten Powers told to Anderson Cooper the other night. Listen to this, and this is the kind of thing that upsets. These are professional women. They've worked hard. It's not easy to get on TV. There's a countable number of people with these spots. And here's a story that Kirsten Powers tells Anderson Cooper about being on O'Reilly's show.
I was on air actually with Margaret Hoover, who's at CNN now, on a regular segment. We were on every Monday, and he got Margaret's name wrong, and Margaret said, hey, get my name right. And he said, oh, I'm sorry, there's a lot of blondes in this operation. I can't keep you all straight. Megyn Kelly's coming up, starts throwing all these blonde names. And then at the end of the segment says, thank you for your blondness to both of us. So I went to his executive producer and I said, he needs to apologize and he needs to never do that again, or I'm not doing his show anymore. And I was told basically, well, Bill, there's nothing we can do about it. He's a throwback. He's kind of an Archie Bunker. And I said, well, if you mean he's a Neanderthal, then we're on the same page. He can never do that again. I'm a political analyst here. Went to Bill, came back, said, no, he's not going to apologize. So then I went to I was called into my boss's office. I was told, what can we do? It's Bill. There's nothing we can do. We're sorry this happened to you, but there's nothing we can do. I complained to Roger Ailes. I was told the same exact thing. There's nothing we can do. It's Bill. He's a jerk. Nobody likes him. And then Roger said, Bill, he likes to put up dirty pictures and ask pretty girls to talk about them. And so the whole thing was sort of Bill. Oh, and then he said, what am I going to do? I don't like him, but he makes so much money, there's nothing I can do. That was the
Wait a
culture.
minute, who was it who said that?
Roger Ailes.
And of course, Ailes, Gretchen Carlson lodged a complaint against Ailes, and Ailes had to go too, saying basically that there's this whole culture of this kind of treatment. Look, is this a crime? Is it a felony? Do you get shot down for this? No. Do I make lots of sexist jokes? I try to. I try to make every kind of joke I can because I don't think any political movement should tell me what jokes I can make. If I think it's funny, I think I should be able to say it. But Kirsten Powers is a highly intelligent, highly talented person. If she had a problem with it, she goes on to say that she stayed off his show, and this is the top-rated show on cable. She stayed off his show for 3 years and then went back and said, could we try this again and don't do that? And she said she then developed an excellent relationship with him. Margaret Hoover, whom I've met and is a highly intelligent and extraordinarily attractive woman, she said she never had a problem with him, but she got the message to never be alone in a room with him. So she said, there was this culture there. All this is to say that obviously I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And I know that the sex part of the story is the interesting part. But there's something really much more important than the feminist or sexual angle on this. Much more important. This marks a division between Rupert Murdoch, who was 86 years old, and his two sons, James and Lachlan, who run 21st Century Fox. Okay, so that's the mother company. These two young guys don't. First of all, they're not conservatives. They hate Ailes. And remember, this is the thing about Fox. You can't staff a place that big with conservatives. There aren't that many conservatives in the business. So there are people on O'Reilly's, staff, his, big people on his staff who are left-wingers and feminists and all kinds of things that O'Reilly then goes on the air and disapproves of, but they're working for him because you cannot staff something in show business with just conservatives. So James and Lachlan, they don't like going to cocktail parties in New York and London and being the conservative guys. They don't like it when all the fancy people are saying, Bill O'Reilly, poof, they don't like the smell of cordite on them. And they want to move. Michael Wolff writes about this in The Hollywood Reporter. He says they hope to reshape. Here's what he says. He says, for 86-year-old Rupert, Fox News is a key part of his legacy, as well as the family company's health. The most profitable news outlet ever, $1.5 billion in profits this year, and among the most influential. For James, 44, and Lachlan, 45, the hope is to reshape this legacy, to move Fox away from what they see as its retro Trump-style views toward, well, something nicer. And we all know what something nicer looks like, right? That means that it's going to get diluted. There's nobody who can replace O'Reilly. Tucker Carlson is moving into his slot. The guy's doing great. But, it's a stretch to think that Tucker Carlson is going to take over that spot and make it what it is. We are in danger of losing the one news outlet that has Bret Baier delivering the news as it is instead of the news as leftists see it to be. And that is our fault. Why has the success of Fox News not been replicated? Why haven't we copied it? Why haven't we taken care to make sure the flow of information is not governed and monopolized by the left, as it is?